Elizabeth here with this week's episode of AnimeCons TV, and I'm here to show you my super cool new toy that I recently got, which is my Cricut machine. If you don't know what a Cricut machine is, it's a cutting machine. They've been around for a while, and they're, I think, predominantly used in like scrapbooking and like paper crafts. I've seen them around Joann's for a while, but I think within like the past year I've seen more and more cosplayers using them as one of their tools, and I got one for Christmas. It's a Cricut Explore Air 2 in purple, which is my favorite color, and there's also a Cricut Maker. And from what I know, the difference between the two is a Cricut Maker is more is like a step above. You can cut deeper with it, and you can do more with it. It's more it's more of like a workhorse than this one, but I'm perfectly okay with this one and what I needed to do, and it's really awesome, and I'm going to walk you through some of the ways that you can use it on your upcoming costumes. So the Cricut machine looks like a printer, and if you open it up, I mean, it's just, I don't know why there's this big fancy open thing for two hinge things, but you see it kind of looks like a printer. Where the print cartridge would go, there's two slots, and the one on the right is where I currently have my blade housed, and that's how it cuts. Is it runs around, goes back and forth and cuts where it needs to cut, and then the cutting board goes in and out as it's needed. On the left, which I did not know this machine did until I got it, is you can put a pen in that. So I think it comes with like a standard black pen like this. I also got some multicolored pens that you can put in it. And one thing that's really cool that I have yet to buy, and I think I might go out and buy it tomorrow, is you can get a water-soluble pen to do that, so you can trace patterns. So if you have embroidery to do and you have your design digitized, you can probably use the Cricut machine to draw out the design for you, and then you do your embroidery or your beadwork or whatever it is that you're going to do, or your pattern, and then it's water soluble, it use water, it goes away. So it's super cool. You can also put in a scoring pen, so if you're working on some foam or anything else you need scored, so it's like, you know, not cut through all the way, you can put that in that cartridge A on the left, so it's A and B, it's marked, and then draw on whatever it is you need to draw. So that's pretty cool. There's a ton of accessories that come with a Cricut machine, and so keep in mind, if you're investing in a Cricut machine, you're not just investing in a machine, you need to invest in the tools. I've gotten a lot of them on Amazon, sometimes on Joann's and Michael's and things like that. Keep in mind that for the craft stores, I think all of them, at least the ones that I go to, Amazon, Joann's, Michael's, and AC Moore, they don't let you use their coupons on the Cricut stuff. It's in the fine print. It stinks, but they do seem to always have some kind of sale, like buy one get one 50% off or 25% off or whatever. Now I think there are third-party brands, like Joann's has their rolls of vinyl and things like that I think you can use the coupons on. So there are third-party companies that make accessories and materials that will work on the Cricut machine, and you can definitely look into those as well. Amazon has a ton of stuff. You can probably find things on eBay from like people getting rid of stuff they don't need. So don't limit yourself to just the Cricut. Also, besides the Cricut, Brother has a cutting machine that a friend of mine has that she really likes, and there's another brand called Silhouette. But we're going to focus on the Cricut because that's what I have. So some of the key tools that you will need a mat. So I have a few mats here. There's a light grip mat, blue one. That one I believe came with it. Then this is a fabric grip for when I want to cut out fabric, which is really cool, and I'm really excited about that. And then there are the standard grip mats, which I bought on Amazon. They're bigger. They're 12 by 24. I think this is as big as they come for mats. They come in packages of multiple ones, so like I think there's 2 fabric ones here. There's 2 standard grip ones here. That's because if you lift up the plastic coating here, they're tacky. I don't know if you could kind of hear that. So that's how the material stays on, and the difference between the mats is the difference in tackiness. And there's also one more that's like a super grip. I don't think that's what it's called. It's called like an ultra grip or something. That one's the stickiest one. But pretty sure it came with the light grip. I got the fabric grip, but I haven't used yet. And then the standard grip is definitely the one I've used the most because it seems to just be the go-to one of whatever. But the light grip is good because if it's more delicate, then I put on that so it doesn't tear as easily. In addition to the mat, you're gonna need a blade. It comes with a standard blade. I also got this. Sorry, you can't really see it because of the lighting, but this is a fabric blade. So this is to cut fabric. So what I'm gonna use it for eventually is when you iron fabric onto like under a heat and bond, you then cut it, and then you have your applique and you don't have to cut it out. And oh my god, I cannot believe that's a thing now. It's so exciting. One other big thing that I like to use, this is some scrap of it, that is some iron-on vinyl. It's fantastic. I recently had some friends over and we made tote bags. So like this is my gaming bag now for my dice. So I found some dice clip art and was able to upload it into this, and just picked this random font. So let's roll. And this was some sparkly purple iron-on vinyl that I got at Joann's. There's also permanent vinyl that just sticks right on. That's pretty cool. I made an awesome Vox Machina decal of that to put on my car. So that's pretty cool. There's also lots of cool stuff you can use. So this is just like scrapbook kind of foil paper. This came with it to kind of play with it. I think I got it as part of a bundle. So you just stick it right in the mat and you cut it out, which is pretty cool. And then this is more vinyl, and I'm going to show you a demonstration on that one. So the way it works, also you can cut out things that aren't necessarily Cricut. So if you remember our episode about freezer paper a while back, where I made stencils out of freezer paper, you can cut onto the freezer paper and make stencils, which is pretty awesome. I used that on costume recently, and it was fantastic. Alright, I'm just going to get my laptop up real quick. So this is the design space. I hope I can do this. And this is what it looks like when you log in. You can see your recent projects. I'm working on this to make a really dorky bag to where it packs. It's one of the, so it's the spell bless, which is plus 1d4 to attack rolls and saving throws. I just always thought, hashtag blessed. I don't know, it's funny. Whatever. This is at a Vox Machina decal I talked about that's on my car. Now, Cricut comes with tons of projects you can get. There's some free ones, but a lot of them you can buy for a few bucks here or there and make lots of cool things, cool decals, lots of fun things. So I'm going to start a new project. Now, you can use a computer. There's also an app for smartphones, and then you connect it through Bluetooth. You can connect it by a cord here because my laptop here is ancient and doesn't have Bluetooth. This program does not work on Chromebooks, which I found out on my new Chromebook I just bought, but whatever, this laptop still works, so it's all good. One cool thing that you can do here is use templates, and they'll give you like a size to go by. So if you're making like a shirt, you can pick classic t-shirts. And what it does is it like zoomed way out, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it has like a t-shirt here, so you can kind of visualize where you want things to go, which is pretty cool. I don't know how to take that off. Alright, cool. Now, you can add shapes, pre-existing shapes, text, any images that you have or download, but the really cool thing is the upload. So these are some images I've uploaded. What's cool here is some of them I've uploaded from my phone, and some of them I've uploaded from my computer, which is really, really cool. This is some of the stuff I played around. I've lost some things. These designs here, these three, I actually bought on Etsy. You can find lots of designs on Etsy that people have made that you can put into these, but you can also use any image that you find on the internet. So let's say I just want to do a Triforce. And you want to find an image that is kind of simple. So like this has a lot of detail, and when it gets too much detail, it's hard to cut out. So I'm going to go as super simple as possible. And make sure it's a clear image. This one's kind of fuzzy, so I'm going to find a different one. Here we go. So I'm just going to save this image. All right, so you can upload an image. Okay, that took forever. All right, so it shows you a preview of the image and the type of image you want. You can do simple, moderate, or complex. This is pretty simple. So I'm going to select that here and hit continue. All right. One of the really cool things here is it is kind of limited on what you can do editing wise. You're probably better off if you have something you really want to make sure is perfect of doing it in Photoshop or Illustrator, and then just putting in here the like flatter you have the image the better, and as few layers as possible. So this select erase, what this will do is if you click, you'll see that all the way around you want these, you want to see the transparency. And I think that it also needs to get in the middle of the Triforce there. And that's really it. This is pretty simple, but if you're doing something more complex, you want to make sure you get into every section and clear it out. There's also an erase, so you can erase what you want, and a crop to crop stuff out that you don't want. So I'm going to hit continue. Here we go. So this is a print then cut. That's not what we want. I think that draws it out and then cuts it out, but we just want a cut image. And we're going to save that. I probably should have renamed it, but whatever. Now I'm going to take the image and insert it into my project. And boom, here we go. I got my Triforce. Now from here you can move this around, you can add text. When you're editing, what's cool is if you're changing an object around, it automatically locks the aspect ratio, but you can change that by clicking that. You can get specific sizes here by changing the size. I'm just gonna do, we'll just do a 3-inch wide one, and the aspect ratio is locked, so it'll automatically change it for you. So actually I went in real quick and changed this to 5 inches, and I'm going to click over here to make it. And what this will do here is put it on the mat and show you where it's going to be visually and make sure that you have enough room on the mat. Some things to keep in mind here, you want to change your material size. So like if you're using a small, like if you're using a letter size paper, it'll lay it out correctly. Because what this does is, by default, it uses the most economical way of putting everything on here, because it assumes that you're going to put things on separately. If you want to keep things the same distance apart, then there's some settings you can go in and do that with. And this doesn't apply because the design is symmetrical, but if it wasn't symmetrical, I want to change it to mirror because I'm doing it kind of from the back. Like think of how you're doing an applique. You want to cut the design from the back because you're flipping it over. Once it's ready, I'm going to hit continue. And then it's going to connect to my machine. This takes a moment sometimes. While this is connecting, I'll show you. I'm using this iron-on vinyl that I got on Amazon. It was a whole pack of different colors. you want there's a plastic side and the vinyl, and then it pulls away once you're done. You want the plastic side underneath touching the mat, and then the vinyl on top. Alright, so I just need to select my device, which it did. Material set. I actually want custom. There's a dial up here with a lot of different options for different types of material. But I want custom, and I'm going to use everyday iron-on, which is the same iron-on that Cricut has. I found this worked really well. So you want to make sure mirror is on. It didn't matter for me. And then the iron-on material, the shiny side, is face down on the mat. Pressure default. It can do more, it can do less. If you're not sure, you can do a test real quick of just like a heart or something and see if it works. Okay, I don't need a tool in A. B already has my fine point blade. That's one that comes with it. So what I'm going to do is move this out of the way. And just give this a quick, make sure there's no air bubbles. Pop this bad boy in and hit this arrow button, and it'll load the mat. Make sure it's all the way down real quick. And then you can't see my computer, but all it says is to hit the blinking Cricut button, and it'll cut in design. So this fine point blade can cut paper and things similar to paper really, really well. There's also a deep cut blade, which can be used to cut foam, it can be used to cut leather, it can be used to cut thermoplastics. If you want more information about how to use those, there's a lot of cool tutorials which will show you the settings on how to do those with the custom feature. Those take a while because they have to take multiple passes because the material is so thick. But it's really cool that you can get those fine details or a lot of something with this machine and use it to your advantage to make things easier with your costume. So on the computer, it's showing me a percentage, and it just finished, which is really cool. It's not that complicated of a design, so it doesn't take very long. Just gonna unload it. And take this off. What you want to do, especially with paper, is you want to kind of pull the mat away, not the paper. Especially with paper, it'll resist, keep it from curling. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, here we go. You can't really see it, but it is definitely cut out there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut away from this. That way I can reuse this for something else. You want to use this other tool, it's called a weeder. What you want to do is you want to go in, find a cut, and pull away what you're not using. There we go. Triforce out. There you go. Alright. And there I have a cool Triforce to put on something cool. So this is iron on, so what you would do is flip it over, that's why it needs to be mirrored, and iron it. Yeah, just make sure it's something that can take the ironing really well. And put this on a tote bag, put this on a shirt, put this on your costume. Yeah. So you can take this same design, cut it out of foam, cut it out of fabric, cut it out of plastic, cut it out of paper. As long as it's thin enough, you can cut it out. So this is the Cricut, which is pretty awesome, I think. This is, I think, a game changer and can do a lot of really, really, really cool things for your costume. So if you want to invest in one, I highly recommend it. Be prepared to invest in a lot of tools that go with it and a lot of supplies that go with it. And they're not the cheapest things, but look out for sales, check out Amazon. And if you have one of these machines, let us know what you think. Show us some cool things that you've done, and we'd love to hear it. And until next time, we'll see you later, guys. Bye!